Hello everyone and welcome to Introspective Illumination. I am Leslie and today we are going to be doing a pick a card pull for the energy for the month of November. To pick your deck, choose between one of these three animal totems. So we have a cat, a wolf, and an owl. You could also use one of these candles as the corresponding deck. So it'd be 1, 2, and 3, and then 1, 2, and 3. And I'll give you a moment to choose. Hello Cat Pile. So we'll get started with your reading. So this is if you chose the kitty or this candle. Deck 1. So we want to pull through energy for November. I'll make sure to link all the decks below. So the first card we have here is the Sun, which is of course is a beautiful card. Get one more from this deck, please. And then the Door to Spirit. Also beautiful. I'm going to pull all of them first to get our full message here before I move forward. Innocence. Now, as you're looking at these cards, if there are any symbols that stand out to you, of course, those are going to be significant as this is a general reading. These will help narrow down some of this for you. Oh, with a caterpillar. Very beautiful. Assertiveness. Ooh, there's a lot of them wanting to come out of this deck. I'll pull one more from this one. Okay, let your past go. So really the central message for this is letting your past go. I know this can be, I can't see shit. Move everything up for you guys. New setup, so figuring all that out. Okay, hope you can see everything. So, letting your past go. The text on this card reads, "The burden of carting your past around has made you weary. It's time to set this burden down. Keep only the lessons, the love, and leave everything else behind. You don't want it or need it, and it's now gone." And this is really hard to do. As humans, we focus on the negative. It's hard to see a lesson. Sometimes lessons come way past something when something has happened. So this is just to, if there's something you've been holding on to and you're just feeling really weighed down, like you're holding the weight of the world, this is, the sign to like move past that. And there are a few ways to do that. You can use movement, you can meditate, songs, really anything that brings you joy will help move this energy through your body. So as you're experiencing the joyful thing, it'll shift this negative energy that's kind of trapped and bring it through. And if you look in the back of this card, we have a gate. And then we also have the Door to Spirit. And obviously, this is an angel. And these are directly linked here. So moving through your worries, putting your burdens down are really going to connect you to Spirit. Unfortunately, when we're feeling down is when we need the most support, but it can be hard to hear that support even though they're there supporting us. So starting to put some of this down by bringing more joy into your life will help you get closer to Spirit, which is going to lead you to the Sun. And this is beautiful and joyful. You have the Sun, we have a goldfish, a little baby, we have a bird in a cage, we have a book, we have a musical instrument. So really transitioning from letting your past go will connect you more closely to Spirit and bring in this Sun energy for you this month. And again, this process can be difficult. So really just tune into that stuff that brings you joy and also makes you feel that innocence. We are all born into this world without the weariness and the burdens. And we want to try as much as possible to connect back into this, because really we were all born here this way and we're going to leave here this way too. So, and I'm also going to pull the deck or the book for this one. I think there's another message in here. Yeah. Carrying around guilt and shame. And they want you to release it and find the innocence. These long-held beliefs are buried within your core and are interfering with your progression. It's time to release the shame and the guilt. And really, this is really hard to do too, is what we tend to do when we experience something negative is we feel bad that we feel bad. Oh, I shouldn't feel bad. I shouldn't feel these things. That's not true. Not true at all. You're here to be human. You're here to experience these things. What we want to let go of is not the feelings that we feel. We want to feel them, but we don't want to feel bad feelings about our feelings. So don't feel shame and guilt because you went through something difficult and you're having a hard time letting it go. That's nothing to be ashamed of. We just want to work on it. And letting go of the guilt about the feelings will really bring this progression in much more quickly. You are good enough and you're worthy. Yes, Spirit is calling you to begin to see your innocence and divine perfection. This one simple act will allow the seeds of self-forgiveness and self-love to blossom within. And some ways that, like I said, you can go about this is just finding your joy and those things that bring you back to here. Even some inner child work, if there's something simple you could do. So for example, there was a game I wanted as a kid and I never got that. And that created a lot of disappointment in my life, believe it or not. So you know what I did? I bought the game. And it was great to receive it. And it was so much fun. So anything that's going to tap you back into that innocence, even if it was you love to color, go get a coloring book and some crayons. And you're going to start to release these things and get closer to where you want to be. And, there's nothing to worry about. Whatever this is, you don't have anything to worry about. You'll move through it. I promise. You're going to move through it in your own time. And just give yourself that love that you gave yourself as a kid and love yourself and the bad feelings you feel. And just like this said, your situation can be healed gently with love, but you also need to be, have strength and be truthful. So this feels more, this card speaks of other people, but I'm not getting the vibe from that. This is speaking more truth to yourself and being honest with yourself about your feelings. And again, letting go. If you're feeling guilt about feeling bad, really examine that. Suppressing things doesn't work. So tapping into your truth and your strength to just talk to yourself about it and move through it. And this is going to lead to some opportunity in your life. I'm also going to pull the book for this one. So the caterpillar is about transformation, opportunity, and independence from conditioned responses, which goes back to our innocence card and the things that we hold on to that aren't really ours, or we have a conditioned response to feel bad about a thing that's normal. The energy of caterpillar appears, heralding a time of transformation. And you know what's funny is it says cat, dash, or pillar, and you pick the cat. Here you are being asked to revise your dreams. If it looks and smells familiar, step away from it for the time being. New cannot emerge from the old. Again, new opportunities and this connection and this beauty that wants to come into your life cannot come through with holding on to your past. You cannot bring through the youthfulness from old and sick. Experiment and surprise yourself with what arises for you in this moment. Caterpillar is an invitation to test out a new strategy to get a different, better result. Remember that the definition of lunacy is continuing the same thinking and behavior and hoping for a different outcome. It's time to break away from this and surprise yourself. Do not wait for an invitation from life to practice a bit of outrageousness or for permission to do the unexpected. Any other response right now will lead to more of the same and no real change. Sometimes the most original response is no response whatsoever. Believe in yourself and know that there's nothing to worry about. And you will release your power in this process. And I'm also feeling the desire to bring through the message of really just what the cat means. And that's going to be agility, leaping after you look. And the cats, although they are, when we think of like a domestic cat, like this little one, are small, they're still apex predators. So you have that strength of the cat to move through these things and to bring in this beautiful thing for yourself. And just a reminder that animals are innocent. They don't worry about what they did before. They don't feel guilt about it. They function truly within who they're meant to be. And they don't put much thought into that. I'm not saying don't think about anything, but really bring that back. Like hone into your inner self and that innocence and that we were brought in here for, and really the way we're supposed to move about this world. And that is to have, we're going to have the past. It's going to affect us, and that's okay. But what we want to try our best to do is just move through this with examining it, feeling it, being truthful with ourselves. There's nothing to worry about. You'll move through it. And also with the sun and the caterpillar is once we get here, it's going to bring in new opportunities for you because you're putting down the old. So I hope that was helpful. Cat Pile, please subscribe for more messages and let me know what kind of messages you would like to have in the future. Thank you for watching. Hello, Wolf Pile. So this pile is number 2. If you chose the wolf or this middle candle. So I'm going to start pulling some cards for you, and I'm feeling the desire to pull them from the decks in different orders this time than pile 1. So if you felt drawn to multiples, that's why. So first we're going to start with Storm Warning. And I will read these as I go or at the end, whatever feels right. This one's coming out too here. This is what group 1 got in number 2. Do we have any more from the first deck? All right, I'm feeling this one too. Indecision. Next we're gonna pull, sorry about that. Next we're gonna pull our angel cards. So what I'm feeling so far, just looking at these cards, is you may feel this month that you are at this crossroads. So we have someone in a red cloak and the crossroads, and each side, if you can focus here, says unknown on both sides, but both sides also have a butterfly, and the paths look pretty similar. So the message that's coming through here is you may be faced with this path and you don't know which way to go, and you really both of them are unknown, but both have this beauty in them that you're going to learn this lesson, whatever it needs to be. So I know we as humans will agonize ourselves with indecision, and we really need to learn to trust ourselves that we know. So what I'm feeling to a message for some of you is to look into your human design, if you haven't heard that, and find out what your strategy is for making decisions. So for example, I'm a generator and mine is to respond, and really use that to help you with this decision. But ultimately, you're going to end up where you need to be. And that's walking through this door of spirit. And this storm warning is really what's going on in your head. So you have like the tornado and the storm and the lightning, and this is how you're feeling as you're trying to make this decision. But notice how in the middle here is still coming back to spirit. So you're going to end up where you need to be, and you don't need to agonize. But I do recommend looking into your human design to help you make this decision, because although I can say don't agonize about it, we still will. So just trust that you're going to end up where you need to be. And this will help kind of alleviate some of the storm. And this is normal to feel this way, but you'll end up where you need to go. Ask. I like this. Ask us to help you in this situation, and we will immediately go to work on your behalf. We've governed We're governed by many universal laws, and among them is the free will that allows you to make your own choices and decisions. So we patiently await your request. That is beautiful. So don't forget to ask your guides for help and the angels. I have an ebook on Amazon that's pretty cheap or free if you have Kindle Unlimited, and it really goes into how to connect with your guides and get some more clear answers. But if just how to do this right now, you have to ask for help. We have free will, they can't interfere, so just ask. Say, spirit guides, please help me figure out which way to go. Please help ease this storm in my mind. And you can ask the angels of love and light. Just call them in and ask for their help. You don't have to say it out loud. You can think it when you're going to sleep at night. So really just call them in to get their help in this decision. And again, trust you're going to end up where you need to be, because they'll lead you there. Daydream. You will more easily hear and receive our messages if you daydream regularly. Relax and open your mind to receiving without directing your thoughts. Just notice any feelings, visions, or ideas as if you were watching a movie. This is the seat of creativity. So what I'm feeling with this is really just another a way to connect, to be able to ask and get clear guidance. You could do this by meditating. You could just daydream about anything that brings you happiness and joy, anything where your mind just flows, and pay attention to what is coming up for you. When we're meditating and we clear our mind and we just let ourselves be taken, we can frequently get messages. They might be a little cryptic, but they eventually make sense. So make sure to invite them in and ask, and you can utilize daydreaming to help you get easier connected. And I noticed too, there's this moon in the background, and you chose the wolf, and the wolf's energy is really trusting in, they use the sky, they howl at the moon, and really trusting in that divine energy, because you're going to get there with whatever you decide to do. Return of spirit. Yeah, so this right here, this is really just returning back to your guides, your angels, and getting that divine help with this indecision you're feeling and this turmoil. And frequently that is the answer in our lives, is really going back to that, and trusting our higher self, and trusting that we're being led where we need to go. And I know that can be really hard, but that is truly what is going to help us in this life. And it's hard to let go. Netcaster, preparations come to fruition. Right. So as you're moving through and you're connecting with your guides and getting some guidance around what to do, everything's going to come to fruition. Anything you throw out there into this net. So we have a seahorse, we have a little blowfish, and really you can catch all the messages, you can catch everything you need. And it's interesting, we got Netcaster when we also have a storm, and a water representation of a storm. And we have this woman catching words, sea life. So really casting this net of spirituality and asking into this storm is going to help you with your indecision. And whatever you're worried about is going to come about the way it's supposed to. We also got the caterpillar with the first group. So really, you might want to watch pile 1 if you feel called to it, since we got a couple cards that were the same. And it really is, since it's the overall energy for the month, we're all going to feel some of this. But for this particular card at this time, this indecision is really an opportunity for you to connect more with your guides, with your spirit, to trust more, and to allow your higher self to pull you through where you need to go. And again, either way, it's going to be beautiful. You don't have to worry about it. Again, easier said than done, but I hope this helps. I do have that ebook if you want. It's short and sweet if you want some more ideas of how to connect to your guides and to ask. And it really does go into too about receiving those messages, because sometimes in meditation things will come up. You're like, well, what does that mean? And I've experienced this myself just the other day. I'm still trying to figure it out. So daydream, you can just Google ways to connect. And this is really just an opportunity for you to connect to your higher self, to your guides, return to spirit, and it's going to help you with this decision and, you know, release some of this storm. And you're going to come out and it's going to be good. So I hope you have found that helpful. Please subscribe and let me know if there's any other types of readings you would like. I've got some ideas, but I figured we'd start out with energy for November and go from there. Thank you for watching. Welcome pile number 3. So this is if you chose the owl or this third candle. And we're going to go ahead and get started with your reading for the energy for the month of November. I'll have a few decks here. I'll link them below if you're interested in purchasing any of them. And we'll get started here. I don't have any set way of pulling, so I pulled the decks and I'm just guided to how many cards and where to place them as we go along. So if you felt called to any of the other decks, that would be why they're different. I like to just kind of go with what your particular deck is going to need and not so much a formula. Okay, so we have the 5th chakra with Archangel Gabriel. And I'll kind of pick up messages as we go and we'll do the reading. We got a 2nd chakra, Archangel Ariel, and it's interesting. I felt pulled to pull the chakra deck out for today, but I didn't. I'm going to go get that. Walking away. Okay. So I'll pull the rest of these cards and I'll go grab the chakra deck. Since we're getting these chakras, I think it would be helpful to kind of delve into that some more. Fresh air, which is interesting with the walking, right? Walking outside. Acceptance, which can be hard. Okay, I'm gonna pull from this one now. Really give us some more advice here on this situation. Okay, the farther gate. So we've got 2 cards with gates. We have a theme of walking here, right? Stepping forward. First 2 decks also got this card. So we definitely have a monthly energy with opportunity coming through. And if any of these numbers resonate too, that's always a good sign. Just reassurance that you're in the right place at the right time, which you are. If you're here, and this is where you're supposed to be. But it's always nice to have that reassurance. Integrity. Yeah, I feel like this integrity is linked to this walking away. Yeah. And then we have love. So let me go get that chakra deck real quick so we can talk some more about the chakras. Okay, so this is our chakra deck, and I'm just gonna pull, we'll just see how many. Right now I'm just feeling like 1. And then I'm gonna use the book to kind of go through just some more information on the chakras in case you don't know where you want some. This book gives some scenarios to help you understand a little bit more. I think that is going to be helpful for some of you. So we have self-worth, and it feels like, so this acceptance card says, see yourself and others through the eyes of the angels with unconditional love and acceptance. In this way, you inspire and lift everyone to their highest potential. And not that we can see this, but your self-worth definitely is seeing yourself that way, seeing yourself and having that unconditional love is really going to hone this in. We have despondence. And this is the last one, guilt. So yeah, we're definitely coming up with the same chakras here. So let's go through. So as we're, sorry guys, my camera turned off there for a second. So as we're pulling through this so much orange here, right? So this sacral chakra energy, which really goes to self-worth and this guilt. And we want to bring this love into the situation with, you know, accepting yourself, really bringing in, so we have our acceptance, accepting ourselves, loving ourselves, giving you that emotional peace that comes from self-worth, and really letting go of that guilt that you're holding on to because of emotional hurt you've experienced. And that could even be through any creative endeavors you've taken on and not being sure of yourself. And this is your confirmation that it's okay to let that go and to love yourself and to express that creativity. And that's really going to help with that self-love, is doing things that you enjoy and are creative and really is an outlet for those emotions. We frequently need that, and that is different for everyone. For me, I like music and movement as an outlet. Sometimes I even clean for an outlet. But you can use this creativity to pull this through, or anything really. Like I talked about cleaning, she's ironing. So whatever that is for you, it could be like physical movement. So pulling that through for yourself for self-acceptance and love is really important. And then we're going to get into the 5th chakra here with Archangel Gabriel. So this is about releasing, you know, calling back to releasing some of that judgment we have about others, and even judgment about ourselves. We frequently will feel judgment because we have low self-worth, low self-love, and we'll judge ourselves even for that. And we don't need to, because that's totally normal. I know we don't like it, but it's normal. So really this is kind of in tune with this, and our self-worth is, your self-worth is really going to be expressed through being creative and being heard and understood. And we're not going to be understood or liked by everyone. That's a given. And I know that's hard to accept sometimes, but you don't need to be. You need to be accepted by yourself first and foremost, and then the rest can flow in. So using this creative focus and you can communicate through your creativity to be true about what you feel inside, and pull that through. And other people can relate to this. A lot of us struggle with love, and I'm going to hold this up here in this image that you can see. You can kind of see the outline of a heart. And if there's anything that pops up for you that's a message, which is why I really like cards, because you can kind of get some personalized information in there, since this is more of a general reading. But this month you really want to focus on the self-love and your expression of yourself, and being okay with expressing yourself. It feels like maybe you've been torn down before from expressing yourself, which I completely understand. But you just trust me. You're wonderful and worthy just how you are. And you don't need to let these things hold you down anymore. And I'm pulling through this despondence card. So in the book here, I'm going to read through the legend of this card. And it's in this little book. The legend. Iris is depressed and unable to look after herself or her home. She cries out to the great spirits for help. Mother Earth appears and suggests Iris shower, eat a good meal, and clean up her house. She does, but still feels despondent. Suddenly, a hurricane hits and Iris springs into action to rescue her neighbor's children. In the urgency, Iris finds the way out of depression by taking action. And the inspiration for this card is the only route out of stagnation is motion. So back to what we were talking about before, is to get out of this despondence and really look how wonderful she seems to feel in her connection to the earth after she moves through this, is being creative and using your voice and coming back to self-love through that. I can feel that there are people out there who are going to love you for exactly as you are, but your lack of self-worth and self-love is holding you back from receiving that and being seen. So I definitely encourage you this month to kind of start exploring, expressing yourself through creativity. And that is going to then go back to our bold step forward. And it is scary to walk through this gate. And look at this, there's one gate that's open and one that's closed. So right now this gate is opened. It's open for you this month. And you really have to take the courage to walk to the next gate. And even back in this card where we're walking through a gate, and you're going to walk away from this like really down energy. And the way to get there is through self-love and expression. And this is, you could even take an actual walk and get fresh air, be closer to Mother Earth like Iris does when she's calling for help, and being in nature can really help ground us back into ourselves. We really get stuck in our heads and we don't have to be there. So you could take a walk if that resonates with you, and you're going to be able to walk through these gates. It's going to happen, but you just have to believe in yourself, and this is your opportunity to, I can feel that this coming through this journey of self-love and letting go of guilt and learning to express yourself again and to not be afraid is going to lead to more opportunities. And I'm going to look at the book for this integrity card too here, because I think there's more to this than just integrity. Do not doubt yourself or allow someone else to shake you with accusations. Your integrity demands that you do what feels right. It's connected to your spiritual sense of direction. So this is really pulling into this opportunity that you're going to be having, is you know your value despite the things you've gone through, and having that integrity in yourself, loving yourself, believing in your divine plan is really going to help you release this and do that expression and lead you to these opportunities when you finally get yourself to walk through this gate. And even if you want to express yourself and not have anyone see it. So if you want to make a YouTube video but make it private, or an Instagram post, or maybe some type of art that's just for you. You don't have to put it out there, but it's going to bring you back to yourself, and that's really what you need this month. And going into December, I'm feeling this opportunity is going to come around, but you have to love yourself and trust in you, not in other people, not what they think, in you. Because you know your own integrity. You know that deep down inside, and just because someone questions it doesn't mean it's true. Just remember, our beliefs are not facts, and other beliefs about us are not facts. So I hope that was helpful. Pile number 3, our owl pile. Please come back here and let me know how the month goes. I'm even interested if you want to share your creations with me. You can message me on Instagram. I'll put that down below. I'm actually would love to make a connection with you guys about this. And please subscribe and let me know if there's anything else you want to see this month with the readings. Thank you.